Well, hello there, Spooky. Are you just hanging out on the front steps? It's hot out here, isn't it? Yep, 92 in the shade. And it's an overcast sky. So yeah, that's the way it is in my neighborhood. Got a light breeze too. Of course, Spooky is right under my feet. But yeah, I wanted to come on out since it's starting to cool down. Yeah, it is. Because we've been out in this today when it wasn't overcast, trying to get some things done. And we got it right up here. So we'll take you on up there and show you what we've been up to this week. And yep, it's been now Thursday, June the 20th. And we started this on Monday. And it's not much. But pretty much mostly got it done. Whew, that doesn't look like much. Would have took me maybe a few hours. Oh, a couple years ago. But now it takes me days. Well, hello friends and family. So good to see you again. Pardon my appearance. As you can tell, we've been out here working in the heat and digging in the dirt. And that dirt was quite hard because it hasn't rained in 2 weeks, not nary a drop, since June the 6th, and now it's June the 20th. And even then, we only got a little over a half an inch back on June the 6th. So what we do have planted, we've been watering every day, once in the morning and sometimes again in the afternoon, because we've been in the low to mid 90s every day. So maybe you'll tell me, wherever you are at in this big wide old world, what it's been like for you on this hot, hazy summer day too. So yeah, let me show you what we got. It ain't much, and we're going to talk a little bit about lack of energy and fatigue. And I got both of them. Of course, many of you know, diagnosed with prostate cancer, and I've started my hormone therapy. And the number one, I guess, distraction or effect is fatigue. And I can tell you, that's no joke. If you've ever been taking hormone therapy for cancer, maybe you can relate, and you'll let us know in the comments below the video how it's been for you too. I sure would like to know. But hey, I got Spooky out here with me. Let's take a look at what we got. And like I say, it's not much. Spooky, you gonna get on my feet before Cleo does? Yep, I think Cleo's coming up here to take over. Yep, there's Cleo, being Cleo. Cleo, why are you such a scrummaging? Huh? Nobody can get by your papa? Yep, I know. Here you come. You're gonna get on my feet. Well, there you go. Cleo's made a cameo. But what we've got here, and this is the last thing I put in today before I called her quits. Yep, the heat, the humidity got the better of me. And this is a couple of yellow squash plants. Now, this is the latest I've ever planted them. But in years past, I've been late too, and they've done just fine. We'll just have to see how these do. And then we got 3 tomato plants over here. And I sort of got snookered on them because I went up to Superfoods after my other 3 started looking real poor. My 2 Better Boys and my 1 Sweet 100 Cherry. And I thought they might not make it, but as you know from the last time I showed you, they're starting to perk up and doing fine. So I bought 3 more just in case as backups. And I thought I was getting Better Boys and another Sweet 100. But what did I get? These are Bush Early Girl tomatoes. They're a determinate variety, which means they're going to grow low. They're only going to grow to a certain size. And they're only going to grow so long. And they set most of their tomatoes all at one time. But that'll be okay. We've never grown a Bush Early Girl. As Cleo checks them out right there below. Well, you can see we got one tomato on that one. And I think we had another couple more. And they are looking fine. Oh yeah, right there. We got two more. And you can see all the blossoms on them. So I'm thinking, maybe they'll do just fine. Of course, I'm having to keep them watered. Watered them in real well when I planted them in. And now I'll do it in the evenings. I won't get any on the leaves. And then I'll do them every morning and every evening if necessary. But over here, if I can get around Cleo, which is trying her best to stay on my feet and keep me from walking. But over here we got two more green bell pepper plants. And they're not the Bonnie Bells like what we have in the tire planter. These are the Big Bertha green bell peppers. There's one right here. This is another orange lunchbox. And there's another Big Bertha right there. And I think it's got a pepper on it. Yeah, it does, right there. And I'm thinking this one has a little small one too. Yep, right there. So they each got a pepper on it. And as you can see, many blossoms to come. And you'll notice one thing is missing. And that's the bean poles. Yep. I was on the fence whether to grow any more beans because I got so many in the house. I got canned, store-bought that I bought during the great sickness of 2020 and stocked up. I got my own frozen green beans in the freezer. And I even got some dehydrated ones. So I was thinking I didn't need beans this year. And I come out the other day and the wind had blown down the old bean poles. So that sort of did it for me. But yeah, one thing I wanted to talk about is fatigue, lack of energy. And like I'm saying, this has took me to put in these here 7 plants, 3 days. Part of that was the ground was so hard, I literally had to hammer the trowel in with a mallet, and I'll show it to you, to dig the holes. And I dug down 8 to 10 inches before I found any moist dirt. That's how dry this soil is. I'm not sure what Spooky's up to. He's checking the ground out. He made him a little hole over there and sat in it, but he didn't go to the bathroom. So there was that. You know, Spooky's bad to fertilize the garden. Yeah, not much I can do about that. Some people get upset about it. I figure, you know, people use cow poop, horse poop, chicken poop, rabbit poop. Well, what's the difference with cat poop? Maybe I'm wrong. That's just my thoughts on poop for today. But look who's right here, up on my thigh. My Cleo, trying to get as much attention as she can. Cleo, I can't even get up with you like that. Come on. Yeah, here's my little planting wheelbarrow. And what I got in here is some of this Pro Mix, which is right here. The compressed Pro Mix bale. This is good stuff that I use to mix up with the native dirt. About a 50-50 mix. And it's mostly peat moss, Sprague peat moss. But it really holds the moisture in the ground. Of course, I'm using the Expert Gardener Organics vegetable and tomato food. 356, 3% nitrogen, 5% phosphorus, 6% potassium. Make those roots and flowers grow. Hold on a minute while I close up the bag. But I'm also using this Espoma organic soil acidifier. Put about a couple of teaspoons of that in the bottom of the hole. I put in a tablespoon of the Expert Gardener tomato and vegetable food in the bottom of the hole. I throw in some peat moss, some native dirt, mix it all up. And then in the dirt that I fold all in around the sides and on top of the plant to fill up the hole, I do the exact same thing. A mixture of 50% Pro Mix to 50% dirt, tablespoon of soil acidifier, which is sulfur, to lower the pH, and a tablespoon of the Expert Gardener tomato and vegetable food. And that's all there is to it. But here's what I use to dig the holes. And you can see the end where I whack it with the mallet to drive it in and dig the holes. And then the things you got to have around here, because of all the trees, I got 50 trees on the place. You got to have a pair of hand pruners to cut out the roots. And over here, I had to get the loppers out to cut the bamboo roots out that were about as thick as my thumb. The old man just didn't have the hand strength anymore with the hand pruners to get the job done. And of course, I always have a pair of scissors with me to cut out smaller roots. Because around here, there's not a bit of land anywhere that doesn't have roots because of all the trees and other stuff we got growing everywhere. So yeah, it took me 3 days, and I wasn't out here all day long, but with it in, 92 to 95, 96, I'd work an hour or two, be all covered with sweat, and I'd go on in and rest a while. And I'd come back out and I planted 3 peppers. And that was it for me for the day. Of course, I still had the evening watering to do. Check the plants for army worms and other bugs that are trying to eat them up. And then the next day, I came out, hammered out 3 more holes. That was yesterday. Planted the tomatoes in there after a rest. Did the evening watering and called it a day. And today all I did, along with picking up sticks, was plant this yellow squash plants right here. And of course, I gave them all a drink while I was up here. Hence the watering can. But for being in the ground no more than 2 to 3 days, I think they're looking pretty good. And they're right out here in this bright, hot sunshine up until about now, which it's approaching 5 o'clock. Now I've got 1 more yellow squash plant. Well, actually it's 2 in the pot that I may put in tomorrow up on the other end. And then that'll be it for this plot. I'm sorry to say we're not going to grow any beans through the summer this year. My thought is I've got plenty of beans to eat, and I need to eat them up. But what I got to concentrate on in the next couple of days is back on the yard. Yes, I do. Starting to look a little ratty. So it'll be time to trim her up. So let's get the mower all ready to go again, and we'll get her going on. But as you can see, it's all green, so it looks like. a meadow. Whew. We're just out here talking and walking with you. It's quite humid. And it's still 92. So hey, if you don't mind, I think I'm gonna head her on back in. Everything looks fine. And what I'm gonna start doing, I think on Sundays, well, if it don't rain, we'll just do a garden tour every Sunday, if you want to. Because everything is looking fine. And if you stayed this long, you might remember this Better Boy that was all yellow and scraggly. It was all wilted, didn't look like it'd make it. Well, look at her now. She's greening up, standing straight up. Yes, she is. I think she'll be fine. And of course, me and the birds are getting plenty of blueberries. Look at all of them. I'm eating them every day. So, the pigs are loaded up too, but we'll do that this Sunday. We'll give you an update on the gardens, if you'd like to come by and spend a little time with old Mr. Tom in his neighborhood. But hey, I'm gonna get on in and get this out to you, because it's been a while. I hope y'all are doing fine wherever you are in this big old wide world. Remember, y'all take care, stay safe. May God bless you all as you bless those in your lives. And remember, we love you for stopping by and everything you do to make our life better, as we hope in some way these videos make your life a little better too. If it wasn't so darn hot, I'd stay out and listen to my feathered friends and spend some more time with the kitties. But I'm not. It's getting time for food time. And the kitty crew knows it. So later, all.